Good afternoon, fans. This is your girl from Mel's Mat Chat, and this is episode 287, I believe. Let me just quickly check. I think it's 287. Let me just double check. Uh, doo, 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 doo. Yep, I was right. 287. You're probably wondering where Ring of Honor was from last week. I am suffering from pure exhaustion, and it's not like I'm lazy or anything. I'm so tired that I can't physically sometimes do stuff, and I have to sleep. It's because I'm going through menopause, and it sucks as a almost 41-year-old woman that is going through this. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the 2 weeks. I'm going to record it on Friday night, and then you'll have it for Saturday morning. Everything will be copacetic, okay? So, just look for that, okay? We've had a really mundane week. Nothing really out of the ordinary, unless that you're in AEW, and now you're going to have to worry about what brand you're going to be on. Because there are babies over in AEW, and they can't work together because their egos are so fucking huge, it's not even funny. I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to play out. I'm also looking forward to finding out who is going to be drafted to where in the WWE draft, and what new storylines are going to come out of the whole situation. But that's neither here or there. So let's get to this. It's episode 287 of the podcast, and you know what I do. I promote the stuff that I use, or I completely am 100% with, due to the fact is how they treat me. So please go check out the people over at harrys.com. Visit their website for all your shaving and toiletry essentials. Also, please go check out the people over Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Get all your beard essentials there. If you want to murder your thirst, and your thirst is killing you, and you want to murder it, please do me a favor. Go check out the people over at Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. They have spring water, sparkling flavored water, and now iced tea. So go check that out. Also, please do me a favor and go check out the people over at Deathwish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. And they just came out with this. Deathwish Coffee with vanilla. I cannot wait to taste this. This is going to be good. I am so freaking happy with that, honestly. So you can get that at deathwishcoffee.com. Please, you should be checking out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net. They have multiple events coming up. So please go check out there. And if you can get the tickets, go right ahead. And I think the next event will be on Fight TV, so we could see it. And it's supposed to be a really wingding of a fucking event. Let's get down to brass tacks. Let's get down to the run-throughs. We are going to start off with the IWGP Tag Team Championship match. We have the Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis versus Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. Aussie Open used tandem offense on Trent, but Trent fought his way out of their grips. Chuck Taylor took to the sky, taking out Aussie Open on the outside. Best Friends got the upper hand with Trent using a crossbody press for a near fall on Kyle Fletcher. The moment was short-lived as Aussie Open planted Best Friends on the ring apron and then rammed them into one another. Aussie Open gave the United Empire sign. Davis used a senton on Trent and followed up with a cocky cover. Davis handed Trent over to Kyle with a delayed vertical suplex for good for a near fall. Davis and Chuck Taylor brawled outside the ring. Trent was looking for a suplex on Fletcher and got the assist from Chuck Taylor. Best friends choke slam Davis. Trent connected with a doomsday knee strike on Fletcher for a near fall. Chuck went to the top rope, but Kyle sent Trent into Chuck. Kyle nailed Trent with a spinning tombstone pile driver after sandwiching him with stereo strikes. Aussie Open used their finisher and pinned Chuck Taylor. Sorry, my sink has a leaky faucet, and it was driving me nuts with the little dripping. Sorry. So, that was that. After we go right into the AEW World Tag Team Champions, FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Hardwood were interviewed in the ring by Tony Schiavone. They have, I believe it's Dax Hardwood closed up their podcast, so I don't know if it'll ever be back, but it's over. Gee, I wonder why. True. Yep. So, Cash, 2 years and 5 months. It took us 2 years and 5 months from the day we lost these titles to the day we won these titles for the second time. And now we could say, and new 2-time AEW World Tag Team Champions. You are stuck with FTR for another 4 years because we are still all elite. So when we lost these titles, it was the hardest climb back to the top, and we ever had. But you guys never gave up on us. This is about what we've done. This is about what we're going to do. Dax, this is our redemption story. You all been there. Life has beaten us all down. Done. We all been there. You know what? We've all done. We've all fought. And that's why we're here tonight, because we fought for it. For the last 10 years, we've had you in our corners. So now it's time for us to repay you. FTR give you one last ride. We do it 4 years for the AEW top guys out. We go to the back and we have Lexi Nair interviewing the Hardys, FTW champ Hook, and Isaiah Cassidy. Matt says we're going to take the firm at the Hardy compound, so it's going to be a deletion, basically. Jay Briscoe, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and Sadaman Singh versus Man Scout, Jake Manning, and the Spanish Announce Project, and Helico, Luther, and Serpentico. Jake got his leg swept out from Jarrett, who tripped him from the outside the ring. Jarrett got in the ring and blasted Angelico with a stroke. Serpentico jumped at Sadaman, but Sadaman caught him and threw him over the top rope. Sadaman chokeslammed Jake Manning. Mark Briscoe hit a froggy bow and pinned Manning. It was clear by his facial reaction that Mark didn't agree with the teammate bending the rules. Mark Briscoe is victorious, but he does not look happy, said Excalibur. I really feel like we should skip this, but I can't because it just would irk me. Emi Sakura versus Taya Valkyrie. Sakura chopped Taya, but Taya turned around with a chop of her own, and then a second blistering shot. Taya charged at Sakura with a double knee strike in the corner. Taya used a short arm lariat. Taya was looking for the road to Valhalla. Then the TBS champion Jay Cargill and Layla Gray came walking out on the ramp. As Taya was distracted by Cargill and Gray on the ramp, Emmy capitalized from behind with a shot. Taya fired back with low trajectory German suplex. Taya approached Jade and Layla outside the ring again. Emmy used this to her advantage, but back in the ring, Taya turned things around with a blue thunder bomb. Taya speared Emmy with a drop and dropped her hard with the road to Valhalla for a good for a pin. Gray jumped into the ring and walked right into a big elbow and the road to Valhalla from Taya. Jay got into the ring and she and Taya slugged it out. Taya was about to hoist Jay up for the road to Valhalla. Then Gray blindside Taya. Cargill smashed Taya with Jaded. There's got to be, if this is going to be taking place at Double or Nothing, it's got to be that Jay Cargill finally suffers her first loss. Speaking of Taya Valkyrie, her husband, John Henning, made his boxing debut. He had LA Knight, he had Scarlett and Karrion Kross in his corner walking him out to the ring. And it was really cool. And Josh Barnett, my God, it was crazy. I didn't even know it was a all big surprise, and I love that shit. So, that is that. We heard from Jericho Appreciation Society, Daddy Magic, and Matt Menard, Cool Hand, and Angelo Parker, and Jake Hager. They were in the ring ready to rap. They said everybody wants to be a sports entertainer, and they claimed that the Acclaim were adopted. The Acclaim came out charging the JAS in the ring. Billy Gunn grabbed a pair of scissors and was about to cut off Matt Menard's hair when Parker and Hager pulled Menard out of the ring. The Acclaim and Billy Gunn challenged them to a match this Wednesday. So, this was a very quick, easy match. Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Shawn Spears. Jack Perry dropkicked Spears. Jack Perry lured in Spears and threw him into the barricade outside the ring. Spears returned the favor, whipping Jungle Boy into the guardrail. Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara were shown watching the match. Shawn Spears was looking for a suplex, but Jack Perry fought his way out of the predicament and came back with a lateral press. Jack caught Spears flush with a thrust kick. Spears caught Perry with a DDT for a near fall. Spears was looking for the C4, but Perry escaped. Jack Perry rocked Spears with a leaping flatliner. Spears rolled up Perry, but Perry put on the brakes and pinned Shawn Spears. And that's the end of it. And they're going to be at the Peterson's Event Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And that's where Britt Baker are from, and also Adam Cole, baby. He's from there as well. And I think Morlow, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, Dynamite. Jungle Boy Jack Perry walked to the ring, kicking off tonight's show. Jack Perry, I was about to speak on the microphone when Spanish God Sammy Guevara's music hit. Guevara walks to the ring without his wife, and I like that. Sammy began speaking on the microphone when Darby Allin music played, and Darby Allin made his way out to the ring. Darby, Sammy, out of all the pillars, I've known you the longest, and oddly, I like you the most. You're a follower. I think Chris Jericho is holding you back, but if you or Chris have a problem with that, You and Chris could come talk to me and Sting. And you, Jack Perry, out of all the pillars, you had to work the hardest. You had to work the least hardest to get here. You're part of the California clique. Nothing about you intimidates me. Jack Perry, I'm looking at a paint on your face, and I see all the kids in the arena with the same face paint, and all I could think of is, boy, if only they knew what you were really like. You're only here because you couldn't make it as a skateboarder. Sammy, we have Sammy, we don't have the kind of time to describe what a dirtbag you are. Out of Darby and MJF, I actually respect you the most because with Sammy Guevara, what you see is what you get. Every time you come out to the ring, you put your body on the line, but you're still a scumbag. Sammy, okay, Jungle Boy, you want to be real? Let's be real. You are just like MJF. Both of you are handpicked to be here. The golden children of AEW. Darby, despite our differences, we are two sides of the same coin. We do whatever it takes to make it. And we did it. And honestly, Darby, I have to thank you because you gave me hope in this place. When my career wasn't going so hot, I watched you as you were the first pillar to win a championship here in AEW. And you showed me you can break whatever glass ceiling they want to put us under. And I sat back and I said, I could do that better. And I did it 3 times. Darby, now it's your turn to sit back and watch as I become the world heavyweight champion. Jack, spoiler alert, I'm the next world heavyweight champion. But I'm not going to do it just for me. I'm going to do it for everyone who helped me along the way. AEW World Heavyweight Champion MJF music began to play, and he walked onto the ramp. MJF, I have had a conversation with my good friend Tony Khan, and I had an idea, and I agreed with him. There will be a Pillars tournament, and the winner of the tournament will face me for the Triple B at Double or Nothing. One of you will get a bye, and in the first round, I will pick out a name out of the hat. MJF was pissed because it was Darby. You got picked, and you got a round. You got a bye. You got a bye in this round. So round 1, for the first time ever. It'll be Jungle Boy versus Sammy tonight. So we go into the next, we go into the first match of the night. And it was the AEW World Champion, Jamie Hayter, versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus the Outcast, Ruby Soho and Tony Storm. Both teams brawled to start the match. Tony and Jamie paired up, while Britt and Ruby slugged it out. Hayter in a double shoulder tackle on Soho and Storm. Hayter double suplexed them. Saraya grabbed Hayter's ankle. Storm tried for a DDT on the outside, but Hayter pumped the brakes. Back in the ring, Storm blasted Jamie with a forearm and followed up with a hip attack. Baker attempted a Panama Sunrise, but it was countered. Soho used the back heel to trip on Baker on the floor. Back in the ring, Baker cleaned house on the Outcast. Baker blasted Storm with a sling blade. She followed up with a neckbreaker on Ruby. Storm grabbed a German suplex. Baker fired back with an air raid crash. Baker and Hayter sandwiched Tony with ripcord lariats. Saraya used Hayter's belt and whacked Baker in the head with it. Storm covered Baker, but Baker kicked out at 2. Baker planted Soho with a Panama Sunrise for a near fall. Baker curb stomped Soho for a near fall. Baker applied the lockjaw and forced Ruby to tap out. Jesus Christ, can Baker fucking have her own move? She takes from Seth. She takes from fucking her boyfriend. I tell you no lies, okay, people? Renee Paquette interviewed Wardlow backstage. Wardlow out brought out a horseman to have his back tonight, and it's Double A Arn Anderson, WWE Hall of Famer Double A Arn Anderson. We heard from the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Now this is the Elite that I want to see. Omega, these past couple of weeks have been some of the most difficult in my life. BCC, you are four of the most respected professional wrestlers on the planet until the last few weeks. I'm having trouble sleeping at night because of the image of that screwdriver in that turnbuckle. I wish I could have taken that screwdriver and used it on your face, John Moxley. Blackpool Combat Club, I want to see you guys in the ring and let's settle it like men. Bryan Danielson appeared on the big screen. Danielson, I'm going to pay to see... Who's going to pay to see a monologue by a bunch of amateurs? The BCC blinded the Elite from behind. The BCC and the Elite brawled ringside. This brawl has spread all around Pittsburgh, said Excalibur. Mox nailed Omega with the Death Riders. Danielson finally walked to the ring. Exactly what I thought. A bunch of amateurs. Don Callis ran to the ring with his steel chair, but Danielson saw him and Callis retreated to the back. The BCC held down Omega. Danielson pulled out a screwdriver out of his pocket. Callis came back with Takesha, and Takesha protected Kenny from the BCC. Omega and Takesha fought off the BCC. Takesha was the difference maker for the Elite tonight, said Excalibur. So now I thought it was going to be Paige that was going to come down. We were wrong. But this is actually maybe the key to get Kota Ibushi in AEW. I'm telling you, this fucking title, I felt like I should have bought the game hot potato or go into my fucking refrigerator, pull out a fucking actual potato and just throw it around. Because this fucking TNT title is ridiculous. The fucking international title is being held by Orange Cassidy and he's making that prestigious. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we have Powerhouse Hobbs versus Wardlow for the TNT Championship. Wardlow charged forward and drove his shoulders into Hobbs. Powerhouse fired back with 3 belly-to-belly suplexes. Wardlow whipped Hobbs into the barricade outside the ring. Wardlow hurled Hobbs back over the barricade. Powerhouse Hobbs imposed his will and rallied back against Wardlow. Hobbs was looking for a suplex, but Wardlow shoved him away. Wardlow followed up with a senton bomb. Hobbs clubbed Wardlow with shots. Wardlow took down the champion with a German suplex, and then another German suplex. Wardlow headbutted Hobbs and rocked Hobbs with a lariat. QTV Harley jumped on the apron to distract Wardlow. QT nailed Wardlow with a cutter, while everyone had their attention diverted. The ref ejected QT Marshall as Marshall a cutter while every had their attention diverted. The ref ejected QT Marshall as Marshall was leaving. Penta El Zero Miedo walked down the ramp. QT tried to avoid Penta and jumped back into the ring, only to eat a DDT from Arn Anderson. Wardlow powerbombed Hobbs 3 times and pinned him. And your 3-time TNT champion Wardlow. Christian Cage and Luchasaurus walked onto the ramp. Christian Cage smirked at Warlow. You've got a title, you're a marked man, said Taz. Renee backstage with Sammy Guevara. MJF interrupted Sammy. MJF had an offer for Sammy. MJF offered Sammy a blank check and a spot in the main event of Double or Nothing if he promised to just lay down. Sammy smiled, wrote his price on the check, and hugged MJF. Seems like a fair price to me, said Renee. Now I want to let people know. I have high blood pressure, okay? I have possible heart problem. My heart is not what it used to be like 20 years ago. Now we have Juice Robinson and rock hard Juice Robinson and Switchblade Jay White. I am going to have high blood pressure with both of those running around on TV. You got Adam Cole, you got Warlow. I am fucked. All right? I am fucked. So if you hear me passing away, blame it on Tony Khan. Okay? Just saying. Just kidding. Just kidding. Please. So we have Switchblade Jay White versus Commander. Sean Spears was watching the match from the front row. Commander staggered Jay White with a back heel kick. Commander walked the ropes and took down White with a Hurricane Rana. Commander moonsaulted off the second turnbuckle, but Jay White countered it, planted Commander on the apron. Jay White clocked Commander with a running clothesline. Jay White dug his fingers into the eye of Commander, but Commander countered with a kick. Jay White crashed to the arena floor. Commander walked the ropes and took to the skies, landing on White. Commander connected with a rope. Walk shooting star press for a near fall. He followed up with a springboard Phoenix splash for a 2 count. Jay White smashed Commander with a cutthroat suplex. White spikes Commander with a Blade Runner and pins Commander. Sean Spears was not impressed with Jay White. Juice Robinson pulled Spears over the barricade. They swarmed Spears until absolute Ricky Starks sprinted down to even up the odds. Speared Juice. Jay White and Juice were retreated. We go to the back and we are about to hear from FTR, but basically they ended up at the doctor's office, the medical staff, because Mark Briscoe got attacked. So FTR ran to Briscoe's locker room. Mark asked FTR to join up with Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett to get revenge for him. They shook on it. We had a face-to-face with Chris Jericho, and Adam Cole, baby. Cole, for anyone that follow my career, you know how much I idolize you. My catchphrase was inspired by you. I read your first book in high school and said, someday I want to be like Chris Jericho. And here we are, Pittsburgh with Adam Cole and Chris Jericho in the ring for the very first time. I think that's very cool. I have a ton of respect for you. Did you talk to your father? Did you talk to Uncle Paul? Did you talk to Aunt Stephanie? Because apparently you didn't. Chris Jericho offered his hand to Adam Cole, and Cole accepted. Jericho, Adam Cole, baby. I am glad you said those kind words. I appreciate that. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I want to say I have absolutely zero respect for you. As a matter of fact, I think you're arrogant. The audacity you showed last week to interrupt my celebration. You're lucky I don't slap your dumb face right here, right now. Adam Cole, Chris, how hypocritical can you be? When is the last time you looked yourself in the mirror and asked, who is the real Chris Jericho? You're an egomaniac who has the Jericho Appreciation Society win his matches for him. I think the real Jericho is an insecure, fickle, stupid idiot. And don't you forget, you wanted to confront me. And I'm right here. You want my attention? You got it. So now what? Jericho, you don't impress me, Cole. You know the old saying, you never want to meet your heroes. And that's true. You don't want to know me, so you should get out of this ring now. Cole and Jericho began to brawl. Cole stomping Jericho in the corner. Daniel Garcia ran down to the ring and hit Adam Cole from behind. Britt Baker saw enough, ran to the ring and slapped Chris Jericho. The Outcast crawled out from underneath the ring and attacked Britt Baker from behind. Daniel Garcia handcuffed Adam Cole to the bottom rope. If you remember when Stephanie got knocked out and they handcuffed Triple H, there you go. An homage. Adam is paying an homage to his Uncle Paul and Aunt Stephanie. Yes, I am going there, okay? It's part of my shtick on here. Daniel Garcia handcuffed Adam Cole to the bottom rope while the Outcast made Britt Baker watch. Garcia handed a kendo stick to Jericho. Cole dared Jericho to hit him. Jericho handed the kendo stick to Saraya and she began to hit Baker with it. Adam Cole begged Jericho to let Baker go. Saraya kept hitting Baker with the kendo stick. As Jericho laughed, Jericho and Saraya hugged and celebrated. Hey, WWE Originals, WWE, I mean, he was WWE before he was AEW, Adam Cole, so it's going to heighten the story with this whole situation. Quick little match, 6-man tag, or trios match. The Acclaim with Daddy Ass versus Jericho Appreciation Society, Cool and Angela Parker, Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, and Jake Hager. If the Acclaim loses, they have to join the JAS until Double or Nothing. Bowens dropped Scissor Me Timbers on Angela Parker. Billy Gunn tagged in and cleaned house with clotheslines. Hager came back in with a big double leg takedown for a near fall. Angela Parker laid out Bowens using something he had hidden in his hands. He tried again, but Bowens ducked and Parker accidentally hit Hager. Daddy S was behind Parker and pulled the loaded comb out of Parker's hand. Bowens smashed Parker with an arrival while Bowens finished things off with the mic drop, pinning Parker. Now we have the main event. We have the Pillars tournament. We have the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, versus Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. The winner faces Darby Allin next week in the Four Pillars tournament on Dynamite. Jack Perry hit a shotgun dropkick and then a tope on Sammy. Sammy came back, jumped over the top rope onto Jack Perry outside the ring, and Jack fired back with a Hurricane Rana to the floor. Sammy retaliated with a Spanish Fly. Darby Allin was watching from up in the rafters, a la Sting. Sammy and Jack traded strikes on the apron. Sammy connected with a rising knee strike. Sammy wiped out Jack with a Spanish Fly off the apron and onto the arena floor. AEW World Heavyweight Champion MJF was watching on the monitor from backstage. Jack Perry powerbombed Sammy on the edge of the apron. Jack rocked Sammy with a destroyer off the ropes for a near fall. Sammy came back with a cutter on Jack Perry. Sammy followed up with an implanted DDT for a 2 count. Sammy picked up Jack for the GTH, but countered and hit a reverse Hurricane Rana. Sammy nailed Jack with a Poison Rana. Jack Perry connected with a thrust kick and then put Sammy in a snare trap. Sammy crawled and grabbed the bottom rope, forcing the ref to break the hold. Sammy dropkicked Jack Perry, and Perry went crashing off the ropes and onto the timekeeper's table. Jack Perry tried to crawl back into the ring before the 10 count. Sammy grabbed the referee to distract him while MJF jumped over the barricade and cracked Jack Perry with the dynamite diamond ring. Jack Perry was counted out. MJF and Sammy celebrated in the ring. Saturday night is going to be a special AEW Rampage, and it's going to be on at 10 p.m. So that is tomorrow night. And they're going to be from the FLA Live Arena in Sunrise, Florida. So that's going to be for Dynamite next week. Couple things. Richard Holiday. He is a member, was a member of the MLW promotion. He was let go. I have a feeling that he's going to end up in AEW, possibly to reform the Dynasty. And if you know about the Dynasty, then you know about the Dynasty. So, Alicia Atute, which they are a real couple, Alicia and Richard Holiday. And Richard Holiday was diagnosed with cancer, and he beat it, and I'm happy for that. So, let's move on. So we're going to move on to WWE, which is SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. And I want to say thank you to Ringside News for giving us the run through. And I'm going to be covering the draft. So let's look forward to that. We have on SmackDown. But before we get into that, I want you to go check me out on my social media. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, Mel'S Mat Chat. Please go check me out on Snapchat and Facebook. They're all now professional business accounts, so go take advantage of that. Also, please do me a favor. Still, it's April and it's Autism Awareness Month. Please show your support. Tag me into the social media that you're following me on, and just tag in Autism Awareness Month and tag me into it, and maybe make a video of like how you're supporting, and if you have a loved one. I want to hear these stories because I really would like to make a video, and I would like to give you guys the recognition and whatnot. So I also want to dedicate this show to a really amazing human being. Today is his birthday. I want to wish Edgar Alvarez a very, very, very happy birthday. And I hope you're celebrating the holiday. And people know what today is, okay? I'm just going to say happy holidays and let's move on. So we have SmackDown. We have the return of Shinsuke Nakamura, who has been seen on who hasn't been seen on SmackDown since last year. While WWE has planned for Nakamura, tonight is unknown. Fans eagerly await to see him back on SmackDown. He faced the Great Muta, WWE Hall of Famer, the Great Muta, in one of his last matches, and it was in Pro Wrestling Noah. That fucking messed my head up. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that, Triple H was able to get this done. That's when Vince wasn't here. And if you're telling me Vince isn't part of creative, I'm telling you, you're a fucking delusional asshole, okay? Please wise the fuck up, okay? SmackDown also had 2 scheduled matches for tonight. The LWO Santos Escobar takes on Damian Priest of the Judgment Day, and Xavier Woods goes up against LA Knight. It should be interesting to see how things play out. SmackDown begins with Kevin Owens coming out, soon followed by his tag team partner Sami Zayn, as the champions make their way down to the ring together. Zayn says that 2 guys who started together coming from nothing closed out WrestleMania as tag team champions. Zayn referenced the upcoming WWE draft and the uncertainty that comes with it. Owens says no matter what happens in the draft, they're the tag team champions and they will defend them on whatever show they are on. Owens says he knows that sooner or later the Usos are going to come for their rematch. I thought rematches were antiquated. Thank you, Shane McMahon. And right on time comes out the Usos and Solo Sikoa. Jimmy Uso says that Zayn and Owens have been champions for 2 weeks, but they were champions for 2 years. Jimmy says the bloodline is more dangerous and stronger than ever. They will soon be tag team champions once again. Jay says that Zayn is inevitably going to stab Owens in the back, the same way he did to the bloodline. Zayn says Jay is lying to himself, and he knows that the cracks in the bloodline are growing. Zayn says he knows the bloodline didn't just come out here to talk. And hearing this, the Usos and Sikoa get on the ring apron. Matt Riddle runs out to the ring with a huge brawl breaks out between all 6 men. Riddle takes out Sikoa with a knee strike, and Riddle goes to the top rope. The Usos drag Sikoa out of the ring, and the bloodline retreat to the back. We go to commercial break. We have Xavier Woods versus LA Knight. Our opening match begins with a lockup. Knight locks in a side headlock. Woods uses the ropes to break the hold, but Knight bounces off the ropes to hit a shoulder tackle. Woods locks in a side headlock of his own, and Woods then hits a takedown. Knight breaks free and hits an elbow to the head. Knight rolls outside of the ring, and Woods hits a dive over the top rope to Knight outside. Woods goes for a drop kick through the ropes, but Knight dodges and slams Woods into the ring, apron, and off the post. We come back from commercial break with Woods ducking a lariat and hitting a super kick. Woods hits a running forearm strike and covers for a 2. Knight dodges and kicks the plants. Dodges a kick and plants Woods with a DDT. Knight then covers for a 2. Woods reverses a suplex and hangs Knight up on the ropes. Woods huts a guillotine leg drop off the top rope. Woods makes the cover, but Knight grabs the rope at 2. Knight hits a power slam and follows with a elbow drop. Knight gets a roll up and grabs the tights right in front of the referee, who refuses to count. I am not sure what Knight thought would happen. The ref was right there. Knight begins to argue with the ref, and Woods gets a roll up, and Woods grabs the tights out of referee view. Woods gets the 3 count, and you have the winner, Xavier Woods. Commercial break. We come back live where Gunther is talking to Vinci and Kaiser, of Imperium. Gunther is interrupted by Xavier Woods, loudly playing his trombone in distracting manner. Gunther says Woods needs to learn respect, and that he will beat respect into Woods in an upcoming Intercontinental Championship match. Next match, Damian Priest versus Santos Escobar. Before the match begins, Judgment Day comes out to the ring. Priest calls out Bad Bunny. He said that if he gets involved at Backlash, he will take him out just like he did on Raw a few weeks ago. LWO's music hits and Zelina Vega comes out, which causes Ripley to angrily go towards the ramp. Off the distraction, the rest of LWO runs into the ring and attacks Priest and Dominic Mysterio from behind as the match is set to begin after the break. Back live with the match officially beginning, with Escobar hitting a flying crossbody from the top rope. Priest rolls out of the ring and Escobar runs up to dive by. Priest moves out of the way. Back in the ring, Priest hits a running splash in the corner. Escobar hits a big chop and follows with a drop kick. Escobar covers for 2. Escobar hits a running knee strike in the corner. Escobar climbs the top ropes and starts to hit punches to Priest. Priest grabs Escobar and drops him down and knocks him over the top rope with a big boot. We come back from another commercial break. The match continues live with Priest hitting a power slam. Priest climbs the ropes, but Escobar runs up and hits a Hurricane Rana. Escobar makes the cover, but Priest kicks out at 2. Escobar hits a running forearm strike and then a moonsault from the top rope. Ripley gets on the apron to distract the ref as Dominic takes a cheap shot at Escobar, which allows Priest to hit a big boot. The LWO Del Toro and Wild takes out Dominic. Rhea Ripley trips up Escobar by grabbing his leg, which allows Priest to hit the South of Heaven and cover for a 3. As long as my girl and her boys get the job done, I'm very happy. After the match, Priest continues to attack Escobar. Then Rey Mysterio runs out to make the save. Rey gets in the ring and sends Dominic to the ropes, where Rey goes for a 619, but Priest pulls Dominic out of the ring as the Judgment Day escapes to the back. We go to commercial break. We return with a special celebration for the new women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. We get a 5 seconds of pyro spot, which is probably the most pyro the women's division will get all year. Rodriguez says they are proud to bring the titles back to SmackDown. The champs are interrupted by Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green coming out to the ring. Deville says that Morgan and Rodriguez did not beat the previous 2 champions, therefore should not be champions. Green says they are the ones who deserve the pyro and the title shot. Morgan drops the mic, and her and Rodriguez quickly clear the ring as it is announced that Green and Deville will be the next challengers for the women's tag team champion. Whoop-de-fucking-do. We come back from commercial break. SmackDown is back live with the returning of Shinsuke Nakamura making his way out to the ring as the crowd and myself at home sing along as it is revealed that Nakamura will be competing in a match tonight. The opponent is revealed to be Madcap Moss, as Emma hypes up Madcap before Moss makes his way out to the ring. This was a fucking quick match. It was like blink and it was over. The match begins with Moss immediately going after Nakamura in the corner. Moss hits a spear in the corner and covers for a 2 count. Nakamura suplexes and hits a spinning heel kick. Nakamura hits the sliding German suplex and hits a flying knee off the middle rope. Nakamura hits the Kinshasa and covers for the 3 count. Winner, Shinsuke Nakamura. After the match, Moss goes to attack Nakamura. Nakamura locks in an armbar, and Emma pulls Moss out of the ring. And we've now seen someone pulling a heel in danger out of the ring for the 3rd time tonight. After the match, we cut to backstage where we see Scarlett sitting at a table. She turns over a tarot card to show Nakamura on the card. Cross appears and stares into the camera and gives the signature tick tock, tick tock. He needs to trim that hair, please. Unless he's going to have long hair, which he wouldn't look good with that. We come back from commercial break with Braun Strowman and Ricochet walking backstage. The two are attacked by the Viking Raiders, who take out Strowman. Ricochet attempts to fight both himself before he gets hit with a rag knock through a table backstage. We have Matt Riddle versus Solo Sikoa. Before the match begins, Paul Heyman says he has a historic announcement to make. Heyman says it's official that 2 weeks from now, the Usos will have their tag team championship rematch against Owens and Zayn. Heyman guarantees a victory for the Usos as our main event is set to begin after the break. We come back from commercial. SmackDown returns live with our main event, starting with Sikoa hitting a power slam. Riddle goes to lock in a sleeper, but Sikoa breaks free and hits Riddle with a strong hand strike. Jimmy Uso distracts the ref as Jey Uso grabs Riddle's leg to trip him up. Owens and Zayn confront the Usos outside the ring. The ref runs out to separate the two before ejecting both teams. Sikoa plants Riddle with a Samoan drop. We come back from our commercial break. Our main event continues. Live, Sikoa hitting a back elbow strike and covering for a 2 count. Sikoa and Riddle trade strikes before Riddle is knocked to the mat by Sikoa. Sikoa goes for a running splash in the corner, but Riddle dodges and hits a kick to the back of the head. Riddle hits an exploder suplex out of the corner. Riddle goes for a back splash, but Sikoa brings his knee up to counter. The Usos and Owens and Zayn will all make their way back out and brawl outside the ring before Riddle takes out the Usos with a moonsault. Back in the ring, Sikoa hits Samoan Spike and covers for a 3 count. Winner, Solo Sikoa. After the bell, Sikoa continues his assault on Riddle, that he sees Sikoa bury Riddle under the announce table as the WWE officials run out to check on Riddle. SmackDown goes off the air with Sikoa and the Usos standing tall in the ring. And that is that. We got a little news with the draft. Where the fuck has Cameron Grimes been? He could have been starting to be used already. So they pushed it back. All right, Monday Night Raw. WWE Backlash is on the horizon. Tonight on Raw, Seth Rollins will go one-on-one with The Miz, and Austin Theory will renew his rivalry with Bobby Lashley. Just that alone tells me that Vince McMahon was booked this. Trish Stratus will also explain her actions from last week. We have Seth Rollins versus The Miz, Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley. Trish Stratus explains her actions from last week. Brock Lesnar returns to Monday Night Raw. We have the opening of the show with a package for the show that airs. The commentators welcome the audience to the show. The Usos theme song plays and they come out to the ring with Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa. Paul Heyman starts by introducing himself. He also says he is informed that history is about to unfold tonight. What history? Oh my fucking Jesus. Jesus fucking Christ. The Judgment Day music hits and they come out to the ring. Priest shakes hands with Paul Heyman. Heyman says it's a very good day to be the bad guy. An ode to Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, because Priest emulates Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. He said a short-term deal was engineered by Roman Reigns between Judgment Day and the Bloodline. Jay says he didn't know about it. Heyman says Reigns didn't want them to know about it because he wanted them to be caught off guard. Heyman says that even Balor isn't happy about this, but he'll put it aside his feelings for the time being. Heyman says Judgment Day has a Bad Bunny concern, and Solo is good at dealing with concerns. He then asks Jay to switch positions with Solo. Rhea also switches positions, and the expression on Dominic's face is, oh, chef's kiss. I love him. He is so hot. I love my bad boys. Heyman says Solo will handle Bad Bunny for them. He then says Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn will take on the Judgment Day, and they say Solo will face Rey Mysterio. So that's the first match. Rey Mysterio versus Solo Sikoa. Rey comes out. So the match begins after the commercial break with Solo knocks down Rey with a back elbow. He then hits a body slam. Solo headbutts Rey and attacks him in the corner. Solo goes to work on Rey. Rey tries to fight back but knocked down. Rey trips Solo to the turnbuckles and climbs to the top rope but is stopped by Solo. Both men fall to the outside. Solo goes to work on Rey after the commercial break. He attacks Rey in the corner and goes for the hip attack, but Rey escapes. Rey fights back with a senton and a dropkick. Cover 1-2 kick out. He goes for a moonsault but caught and planted with a Samoan drop. Cover 1-2 kick out. Rey Mysterio hits a 619 and a splash. Cover 1-2 kick out. The Usos come out and distract Rey. Latino World Order jump the barricade and attack the Usos. Rey goes for a 619 but is caught. Rey fights out of it and hits a 619. He goes for a splash and misses. Solo hits the Samoan Spike for the win, and he picks up a win against WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. The Usos attack the LWO after the match. Then they hit the 1D on Rey Mysterio. Chad Gable backstage with Adam Pearce. He says, if one of them is drafted to one brand, the other should go with it. Maxine pitches to be put with Otis. Pearce says he will take that under advisement. We have Bianca Belair versus Dakota Kai. We come back from commercial break. The match begins with Kai drags Belair down using her hair. Belair throws Kai across the ring. She then hits a drop kick. She hits a hip toss and a moonsault. Cover 1-2 kick out. Kai kicks Belair in the face, knocking her out of the ring. We come back from commercial break. Belair hits a running blockbuster. She hits a drop kick and a suplex. She hits another suplex. Belair hits a moonsault. Cover 1-2 kick out. Kai fights back and plants Belair. Kai attacks Belair in the corner. She climbs to the top rope and goes for the stomp, but misses, and Belair hits a backbreaker. She goes for the KOD, but is blocked. Kai sends Belair into the turnbuckle. She goes for a big boot, but misses, and Belair hits the KOD for the win. Winner, Bianca Belair. They don't have her losing, but they're having everybody else with a title to lose. Does that make any sense? I cannot stand Bianca Belair. She's obnoxious, and I'm over her. We need new blood with that title, okay? And it should have been somebody else. Cody Rhodes is shown walking to the ring backstage. Come back from commercial break. Judgment Day backstage, and Dominic says Damian Priest doesn't need to be Bad Bunny's friend. Heyman walks by and asks if they are satisfied. Balor replies, I loved when Rhea Ripley had her hands on Dominic's leg. Oh, hi, puppy. And the pants. Oh, I wanted to fucking die. I was legitimately going, Mommy. Heyman says they better get the job done against Riddle, Zayn, and Owens. Priest says they always get the job done. Cody Rhodes' music plays and he walks out to the ring. He starts by saying he knows who he wants to talk to and calls out Brock Lesnar. Adam Pearce comes out and says he cannot let him do that tonight. He said he can't do it because he ain't medically cleared to be out here tonight. He pleads with Cody to leave the ring. Cody agrees and says he's going to leave. He gets down from the ring and brings a steel chair into the ring. Pearce pleads with Cody to leave the ring and calls for security. Brock Lesnar music plays and he comes out. Pearce continues to plead with him and agrees to give him a match against Lesnar at Backlash. Cody attacks the security personnel. More security personnel come out to stop Cody. Brock Lesnar leaves and Cody attacks the security. So he goes all through them. The size of Cody Rhodes goes through all those security men. We are not idiots. We come back from commercial break and we see Lesnar walking backstage. We have Seth Rollins versus The Miz. Both men head out to the ring. The match starts with Miz continue to attack Rollins. Rollins fights back with a clothesline and sends him out of the ring. He then hits a suicide dive, a tope suicida, and does it again and again. Rollins sent into the timekeeper's area. Come back from commercial break. Rollins with an enziguri. He hits a couple of clotheslines and knocks Miz down. He then hits a sling blade, cover 1-2 kick out. The Miz hits Rollins with a code breaker, cover 1-2 kick out. Miz goes for a kick but is caught, and Rollins hits the buckle bomb. He goes for a splash, but Miz gets on his knees up. Miz goes for the skull-crushing finale, but Rollins gets out of it. Miz targets Rollins' knee and locks in the figure 4 leg lock. Rollins gets to the ropes. Rollins with a blow to Miz's head. He goes for the stomp, but the Miz escapes and hits two DDTs. Cover 1-2 kick out. Miz sets Rollins on the top rope. He goes for a skull crushing finale, but Rollins fights back with a superplex into a Falcon Arrow, and he hits the stomp for the win. Winner, Seth Rollins. Riddle, Zayn, and Owens are backstage discussing their match. Zayn says Riddle had some ideas. Owens asks him to leave the strategy to them. Riddle says he would wrap up his toe and use it like a Samoan spike and call it the toe bro. Oh my god. That's fucking Vince McMahon. Please, please. This is disgusting. Now it's just blatant. He then says he was kidding and says he isn't here to joke around and waste time. He says he's going to bring the fight tonight at Backlash. We go to a commercial break. We have Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory. Both men are in the ring after the break, and the match starts. And Lashley knocks down Theory. He then plants him down and locks a front face lock. Theory fights back, but Lashley hits a suplex. He sends Theory outside the ring. Lashley plants Theory again. Theory fights back and attacks Lashley in the corner. Lashley comes back and attacks Theory, who rolls out of the ring. Lashley goes after him and Theory attacks Lashley. But it isn't enough as Lashley slams Theory into the ring posts. Theory goes to work after the commercial break. Theory goes to work on Lashley. Theory with a vicious right hand to Lashley. Theory sent into the ring post. Lashley with a clothesline and a spinebuster. He then attacks him in the corner and knocks him down. Lashley goes for a spear, but Theory evades. Theory goes for an 8-count down, but Lashley escapes and hits the Dominator. Cover 1-2 kick out. Lashley locks in the Hurt Lock. Bronson Reed attacks them both. Match ending in a no contest. Basically double DQ. After this whole situation, Reed attacks Lashley and hits him with a shoulder tackle. Lashley tries to fight back with a Hurt Lock. Theory drop kicks him from the back. Reed then hits a tsunami, and that was basically about it. Trish Stratus heading out to the ring. We come back from commercial break. Trish starts by saying when she first came to the WWE, women's wrestling was a joke. And she changed everything. She also said she was the women's division and was the first woman to main event Raw. She says without her, there wouldn't be no women's revolution. She said she changed everything, but Becky Lynch claims that the Four Horsemen started the women's revolution. She says she let it slide for a long time. So she returned and became close to Becky, but she didn't thank her even once. She says Becky even convinced Lita to team up with her, but she is nobody's sidekick. She said it was getting sad. She took out Lita to put her out of her misery because she wanted to be clear that the person who screwed Becky out of those titles was her. She said she is not Becky's friend. She said she wasn't about to let Becky Lynch rewrite history and call herself the most important figure in WWE history. Kathy Kelly interviewed, and then she left the ring. So we go to Kathy Kelly after this. Interviewed Cody, who says he's satisfied that Brock has accepted his challenge, but he's also confused about the events and the fact that he has to apologize to Adam Pearce. He also says he can't allow Brock Lesnar to win. Raquel Rodriguez's music comes out and Liv Morgan. They both go out to the freaking ring. So we have Candice LeRae versus Mia Yim versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. This is after the commercial break. So the match begins with Michin and Chelsea Green. She attacks Green and tags out Candice, continues to attack Green. Chelsea tags out Candice with a double DDT. Green distracts Candice and Sonya takes advantage. She takes out and she tags out and then hits a double suplex. Candice tags out and Michin attacks both women. Mitchell and Candice with drop kicks to their opponents. Mitchell goes to eat defeat, but Chelsea Green hits her with an imprinter from behind. The winner is Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. After the match, Chelsea Green pours a drink on Liv Morgan before running away. We come back from commercial break. The Street Profits, Boogs, Elias discuss the draft. Corbin comes in and reminds them that tag teams could get split up. They got to go speak to Pierce. Elias says they may get picked first in the draft, but he will put in a word for him. The Usos are backstage, and everyone who stepped up to them have been put back down, and they will see their opponents at Backlash. Main event time. WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and with Matt Riddle versus the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. We come back from commercial break. Matt Riddle comes out. Everybody comes out, basically. Everybody's theme music, whatnot. The match begins with Sami Zayn and Finn Balor in the ring, which gave me NXT vibes. Zayn with an arm drag to Finn. Balor tags out to Dominic. He also tags out to Damian Priest. Zayn tags out to Kevin Owens. Owens with a drop kick and a senton to Priest. Priest tags out. Owens slams Balor to the mat. Balor takes out the knee of Owens. Rhea attacks Owens outside the ring. Balor sends Owens back in the ring and attacks him. Owens tags out and Riddle attacks Balor and Priest. He hits a Broton and Fisherman suplex. Cover 1-2 kick out. Balor tags out, but Riddle stops Priest from entering the ring. He also sends Dominic to the outside. Priest slams him on the apron. We come back from commercial break. Priest knocks Riddle down. He tags in Finn Balor, who attacks him, and the Judgment Day perform quick tags. Riddle fights back with a German suplex. He tags out, and Zayn attacks Dominic and hits a back body drop. He then climbs to the top rope, but is stopped by Dominic. He hits a sunset flip powerbomb. 1-2 kick out. Zayn climbs to the top rope, but is pushed off by Rhea. Dominic with a frog splash, cover 1-2. Owens breaks it up. Zayn sends Priest to the outside and goes for a dive, but is tripped by Rhea, who gets ejected from ringside. Zayn hits a blue thunder bomb, cover 1-2 kick out. Sami tags out, and Owens goes for a swanton bomb, but his knees were raised. Dominic tags out. Balor goes for the stomp and misses. Owen tags out and hits a stunner. Sami hits the haluva kick and tags out to Riddle, who hits a floating bro for the win. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle win. After the match, the Usos and Solo Sikoa came out to attack them. The LWO and Rey Mysterio come out to attack the Bloodline. All of them brawl around the ring. Rey hits a 619 on Dominic, and Owens plants Priest on the announce table, and that's the way of Monday Night Raw. So you know the whole deal. Tomorrow, Saturday, you will have 2 episodes of Ring of Honor TV. You will have last week's episode and last night's Ring of Honor television. I just was very exhausted and I just wanted to sleep. So I'm going to make it up for you. You're going to get double doses of me. You're going to get a little longer on tomorrow morning. So look for that. And that is the end of Mel'S Mat Chat episode 287. I hope everybody's going to have a great weekend. I'm going to go see my son. I'm going to, hang out with him. And I hope everybody's going to have a great weekend because I'm going to have a great weekend. Here, it's going to rain on tomorrow morning, which I hate. I really fucking hate. Every time I go visit my son, it rains or it's cloudy and it's shitty out, and I hate it with a fucking passion. But please do me a favor. Please go check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. All Mel's Mat Chat. Also, please go check me out on Snapchat and Facebook. Also, please do me a favor. Go check out the people over at harrysharrys.com. Check and get all your shaving and toiletry essentials there. Also, please go check out Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Get all your beard essentials. If you want to murder your thirst and kill your thirst, please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. Please go check out Deathwish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com and check out their new flavor, vanilla. I can't wait. Also, please do me a favor and go check out HOG Wrestling at hogwrestling.net. They have tickets on sale for upcoming events. I think the next one's going to be on Fight TV, so go and check that out. Again, I will be back here tomorrow for two solid weeks of Ring of Honor TV, and then I'll be back next week. I'll be in Las Vegas mode next week at this time because I'm going to be starting to count down. I'm going to Vegas. I'm going to Vegas from the 7th to the 11th. I will be there on my birthday. I can't wait to go. I'm so fucking excited. I went last year. Now I'm going back. I can't believe I am shocked that I was even there once. Now I'm going to be there twice. Holy shit. I'm excited. So please do me a favor, follow me on all those social media outlets, and please, while you're here, like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications. And I love you all. Please have a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow for Ring of Honor TV, okay? Have a great rest of your Friday. I love you all. Bye-bye.